Morning everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be emptying our lagoon, and we just took over from my dad. He went all night long. Looks like he got a little over a foot out now in total of the lagoon. The lagoon agitator, that noon crawler, is in the corner over there. They always chain it up overnight to make sure it stays in the corner, it doesn't drift off from the edge overnight, especially when we're pumping and stirring the pits. It could get lost in the lagoon, but it's going pretty good this morning. The quickest round trip that I did was 27 minutes, so that is a pretty long round trip. It's definitely going to take us a bit longer than usual to empty this lagoon down, but the custom guy, he is going to bring 3 additional tanks, so we're going to be running with 4 tanks. Last year we did it with 5. That went really quick. We emptied this thing almost completely in a day, but that's not going to be happening today, unfortunately. It is going to take a little bit longer. Well, I was gonna get you guys a really cool shot from the back of the spout there, aiming down, but last load I overfilled it. Get my boots all dirty, muck the tractor up. We'll have to figure something else out, I guess. That's what we've covered so far. Gotta cover all of that. Got the first tractor going from the custom crew. The other 2 were at a different dairy farm this morning, and they dropped 2 guys off there. They're driving them here now, so they'll show up any minute, I'm sure, and we'll really start to move some material and watch this pit go down. Put a bit of styrofoam here so the hose doesn't rub against the post. Try to save it. Looks like we got a bit of a traffic jam at the pumps here. Well, the guy weighed one of his John Deeres. He has the identical tank as ours, and it was 7,000 pounds, so 3.5 tons heavier than our setup, which is purely just the tractor, which is crazy. So it's a lot of weight rolling down the road. This one being 134,000 pounds, his being 141. Gotta be careful, keep watching out. It seems to be that we can keep up with our operation. Those Deeres are top speed of 40 kilometers an hour, and they got that Challenger, which has a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which is, that thing's fast. And it's also got a smaller tank, so I definitely can't keep up with that guy. With the 2 Deeres, it seems that we're keeping up with them. They are dumping on the opposite side of the field, which is a little bit further of a drive for me, but still starting at the back. They're starting at the back. So pretty nice that I'm not stressing and sweating buckets out here trying to keep up with them. So it's going nice. So I'm pretty much passing every single tractor right now in between the farm and the field. And there's not too much room when 2 tractors with duals go beside each other, especially their Deeres. They got some pretty wide rear duals on them. So what we're doing, kind of just got in this groove. The empty tractor will go all the way in the ditch pretty much, and then the loaded tractor will stay completely on the road. And that just makes it easy to pass each other. And you want to keep that loaded tractor on the good part of the road, because if you put a tire in the ditch, the road I'm on right now is brand new, so you might wreck it pretty easily. So we go nice and slow, and then that loaded tractor can stay fully on the road. Well, since we started about 16 hours ago, this is the first time we're fueling it up. It was full, so she ran herself empty in 16 hours of hauling. This thing is working hard when it's beaming down the road at full speed with a loaded tank. The engine capacity is almost constantly at 100%, so it is just burning through fuel. I guess around 13, maybe 12 gallons an hour when it's peaked, so thing's a beast. Afternoon update for day one. It looks like we got about 3.5 feet out, closing in on 4 foot out of the pit, so we're definitely moving along really nicely. The liquid manure, it's really thick. You can tell all the solids are agitated up into it. It's amazing the difference between just pumping it out without stirring it up. You're basically sucking water out of the pit, whereas now it's a really thick slurry, and we're actually taking the sand along with all the manure solids out, so it's looking pretty awesome. Just doing the headlands right now, trying not to hit that fence. It's not our fence, they probably don't want it painted in liquid manure. Look at this, is delivery right here.
It's a delivery, boy.
Thank you. Welcome back to day 2 of hauling our liquid manure Lagoon empty. We're at about 6 feet down now. The crawler's still moving around the pits, but it's getting pretty close to the point where it's going to be scraping the bottom now, but still able to agitate it pretty good. That Lagoon crawler is definitely earning its money, because if we otherwise just started pumping it out without stirring it up using that thing, you would have already seen sand dunes probably 1.5 feet ago, and we never would have been pumping it out like we are right now. It's always way easier to pump it all out with a liquid tanker versus a budding manure spreader, scooping it out of that ramp. I did do that one year and it was not fun, so this is definitely the better option. afternoon update for you guys. We quit agitating with the boats now. It scrapes along the ground, so that's done. And we're about 6.5 foot down, so there's maybe 3.5 foot left in the pit, but we're done agitating. Now we're just gonna pump it down. So there's 3.5 feet left in there. We're gonna only get 2.5 feet out, so another few hours for sure. But we'll keep hammering away and we'll get it out yet. Might have found some trash that we should pick up. Just a belt or something. This is a new field to us. This is the first time we're really doing any land work on there, so if we see anything, we're obviously gonna pick it up. We would anyway in any other field, just in case it is a piece of steel. You do a lot of damage to tires, as well as our forage harvester, the JF stall. So we're always picking stuff out of the fields. I also do know for a fact that there was an old farmyard right over here, and that got leveled maybe between 5 and 10 years ago. Not 10 years ago, it would have been more recent than that, but I remember walking to that yard as a kid. It's a mile away from our farmyard, and there was this old house there and maybe an old shed. So that all got leveled and buried and burned. So there might be some stuff from that coming up or in the topsoil already. So it's always something we're gonna have to look out for. Most of the fields in this province do have metal fragments from old farmyards, because most quarters actually had a yard site on it, so pretty cool. Well, we're dumping the last 2 loads. You can see the hazards of the other tractor over there, but we're just literally painting the last couple square meters of this field too, and then we're done. So it worked out perfectly. It couldn't have been more accurate, pretty much. It's covering the field the speed that we went. And yeah, we got that pit empty. There's still a foot in there, which is probably the lowest we've ever gotten it, actually. Pretty much completely, thoroughly empty. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You're not gonna see my face in the outro today, it's too dark. And if you did, I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.